Today we're going to talk about what is the difference between arbitration, mediation, and court. There are three primary third-party methods of dispute resolution. They are arbitration, mediation, and a court proceeding. So we're going to discuss them all. What's arbitration? Arbitration involves a neutral third party, an arbitrator or panel of arbitrators who act as basically decision makers and render a binding decision to resolve a dispute. Arbitration proceedings are more formal than mediation, but less formal than a formal court trial, typically involving rules of evidence, witnesses, and testimony. The arbitrator's decision is binding and enforceable, typically leading to a final resolution of the dispute without the need for further litigation. Now let's talk about mediation. Mediation involves a neutral third party, the mediator, who assists parties in negotiating a mutually acceptable settlement of a dispute. Mediation is far less formal than arbitration or a court proceeding, focusing on facilitating communication and agreement between the parties. The mediator does not make any binding decision, but helps the parties to reach a voluntary agreement which parties can choose to accept or reject. Mediation is confidential, and discussions held by mediations are typically not admissible as evidence in court. Lastly, we're going to discuss the traditional court proceeding. A court proceeding involves a formal legal process conducted in a court of law, presided over by a judge or jury who make a binding decision based on the law and the facts that are presented. Court proceedings adhere to formal rules of evidence, procedure, court rules, and parties presenting arguments and evidence for the judge or jury to decide. A court proceeding results in a binding judgment or verdict issued by the court with legal obligations and consequences for the parties involved. Court proceedings are typically a matter of public record, and court decisions are subject to appeal and further legal action. In summary, arbitration involves a binding decision by an arbitrator. Mediation aims to reach a voluntary agreement with the help of a mediator, and court proceedings involved a formal legal process with a judgment rendered by a judge or jury. Each method offers unique benefits and considerations depending on the nature of the dispute and the parties involved. If you have any questions about mediation, arbitration, or court proceedings, call Legal Counsel PA. Have questions? We have answers.